Yeah, hey everybody. We're up here at the All-Star break now. First half of GDHL season's over, so hit me. What do you got? What's up, everyone, by the way? How is everybody? Yeah, Brooksy, go ahead there, fella. Yeah. 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 No, I mean, we're okay with where we are. Well, I mean, we're exactly where we thought we would be. Kind of hovering around that fourth, fifth place area in the GDHL. We knew who the big dogs were in Ian McLovin and North Korea. Jamie with Flight of the Pigeons or Finnish Warriors or whatever. They were good last year, and they've taken a lot of steps this year into becoming even better. Probably the biggest threat to compete with North Korea and Ian McLovin. So those three, and then I'm kind of hovering around that zone. Andy's had some injury bugs, I think. With McKinnon it happened. He's kind of dropped off. But before the season, I was definitely, I lost to him, I think, last year, right? So I think he's taken a bit of a drop off. We'll see what any action he takes at the trade deadline, but he's still there. Juicy Doubles Mac there. I think that there's so many teams that can beat anyone. Like, my team could lose to anybody. You have the three teams now, I'm going to call it. Always Homies is kind of retooling, but I could still lose to that team too, no problem. There's really only 3 teams in the league, maybe 4 teams in the league, that should be for sure wins no matter what the score is weekly. And everybody else you can lose to. So we're kind of just chilling where we are. Bit of an injury bug right now. Kind of. We went through it. We're hoping to get Jari back soon. And with Stone, it's not something I really worry about as a manager at this point. I worry about it more as just the human being, Mark Stone. Brooksy. He's in his early 30s and he's having this kind of back issues. You worry about the person. You worry about the rest of his life. We'd love to have him on the ice. I spoke to him briefly last night, and he's doing okay after surgery, but we don't expect to see him for quite some time, and we're absolutely okay with that. We just want the human being, the father, the friend, the husband, the whatever to get back to health. But all the boys will be with him as we move forward, and we've got some guys step up, whether it be through free agency or guys we've already had in the locker room. Tage Thompson being one of them to fill that right wing void. But yeah, we'll miss him for sure. Suzanne, how are you? What's going on? I'm not grumpy. No, I'm fine. It's a Friday and I'm at home. I'm not at work. It feels great. It's called a vacation day, Suzanne. I don't know if you get any from your workplace, but I do, so. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to hit on a bunch of the trades. Well, not really the trades. I was more waiting for the boys from Locker Hockey shout out. I think we're going to get the band back together sometime next week. Might be a late one for me on a Monday maybe. I'm not gonna partake in the podcast as much as I used to, kind of, sort of thing, like context-wise. We were going to do it last night, but the boys wanted to get a bit more information on some of these prospects. I mean, I looked up these prospects that were traded in the last week and a half or so, and they're all really good. I mean, they all make sense to me, absolutely. But I'm going to be more of like a host, kind of leading the boys into context, asking them little questions here or there, and I'll provide my little feedback. And yeah, we'll roll with it like that. But yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while for the boys to do a pod on GDHL. It's going to be a good one. We've been given a lot of content in the last little while. And I think in the group chat, things get taken out of context a little too much. Like there's anger involved and judgment and everything. I mean, it's not, I don't think that's entirely what it is, you know what I mean? It's just kind of getting a more understanding. Of course a player, if he wants something and he likes something, he's going to take it. But I'm just saying, if I'm walking around a shopping market, I want to know what all is available to me for sale. I want to get the best deal I possibly can for my money. And, what's that? Yeah, I didn't make an offer on Aho, no. But again, it's Aho. Who wouldn't want Aho? I mean, wake up. And then I offered on a different player. I mean, just like whatever, right? Everybody wants Braden Point on their team. I did make an offer for that, and then he said he said he loved the offer, which I thought it was a slam dunk accept. Maybe it still will be down the road, but right now it's not. And again, like there's no anger. I just think people get a little they assume it's upset, because in the past people have been upset, and especially me, where I've gone on the pod and I've said not things I like regret saying. Like, I'm still gonna put my input in, and then people get upset about what I say. And you know what I mean? Like, if you did a podcast and you ripped me about my decisions, I think my first thought would be laughter. Not, listen to this guy, he's never won a championship before, who is he? I mean, why do we do these things, right? Why do we make these videos? Why do we do these podcasts? We don't do it to make fun of each other. Well, maybe we do in a little bit, but it's a fun way. We don't want to make people feel bad. So, like, people just need to, I think, understand that. Are there other people in the league who, I mean, are there villains? I mean, yeah. Of course there's villains. We know who the villains are. I don't know. I think I'm too sensitive of a guy to become a villain. Like, I could try to be a hardcore villain, but I don't really see the point in that. I think you kind of have to build a resume to be a villain, you know what I mean? So, and of course, as in Marner We Trust has mentioned to me, I did his depth chart the other day. Wow, that's awful. Awful. I am doing the depth charts, but I'm not all the way through them, and I'm not really gonna like do a video or anything on them. I don't really see the point in that. It's more for just my understanding of where teams are. And don't get me wrong, there are good pieces on In Marner We Trust, but by the time those other pieces come around, your best players are going to be 37 years old. So that's kind of interesting. But as he has so thankfully told me in the past, I have not won a GDHL Cup. I've come close, but he's correct. I have not won. And he will never be close. I might be retired by the time he is close to winning a GDHL championship. There are more than one team out there that will never be close to winning a championship for a long time. And of course I'm not going to say who that is. Yeah, I don't even remember what your original question was, but this is fun. Anything else? Roger, you're one of my favorites because you're quiet. you ask normal questions, ones that I can give basic GDHL Dynasty Fantasy Hockey answers to. So yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you know, I was thinking about that the other day, because someone asked me, one of my fans asked me, like Groomer, who is your biggest disappointment this year in GDHL for the Toronto Gilmours? And so I didn't know right off the bat, but I looked at my team, looked at the depth chart, and you know, I looked at this one player, and I thought, when I traded for this player, I gave up a pretty good haul. And maybe that's why I'm still holding on to him. But when I acquired Christian Dvorak when he was still an Arizona Coyote, center left wing eligibility, younger talent, wins faceoffs, has the potential to get those points, I thought I was getting a player back that maybe had a ceiling of a 30-30 guy with 7 to 12 special team goals, 600 to 700 face-off wins, and then at least an average of 25 and 25 a year. You know what I mean? And right now I'm not getting that. I thought he'd be a top 6 guy. That's not the role he's playing right now in Montreal. He's the third line center, I believe. And when that team's healthy, you know, in a couple years here, or even next year when they're healthy, and like I like what they have going there in Montreal, but you know, I was really hoping for a lot more than Christian Dvorak. So to answer your question of who is my biggest disappointment so far this year, or I'm not going to say disappointment. No, you know what? It's a disappointment. It's an underachieving for sure, underachievement, and that's Christian Dvorak. Yeah, no problem, Roger. Good to see you, bud. What's that? No. No. Back by and maybe a mile run. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll see you over there. All right, Barkov. All right, buddy. Okay. Yeah. Bye. Sorry about that. Brooksy, you got more? I mean, we're getting a little long here, but you know, there's not a. I don't think anyone will. No one might watch this entire video, but yeah, sure, we could go another one here. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not really gonna go into all the trades, but I mean, I think people have made good moves throughout. I think Slim Beaton or Eternal Living or whatever. I think he's just a bit bored and he wants to make trades. Like he gets excited. He acquired Jake DeBrusk the other day, and it was a bit baffling to me. Like, and when he traded Boldy, like gets DeBrusk back, who's had a really good year. He said he didn't want DeBrusk to be a trade piece. He might be in the end, but now all of a sudden DeBrusk is available. I think he's just having fun trading, and I think he's going back to the old strategy that he had in 2019, I think it was, where he built from the net out in a sense. He's gotten some good, like he's got that tandem now in Washington, which is good. Copley, looks like he has the reins there. I mean, there's rumors LA might make a move for a goalie. Could that be Demko? Could that be Cam Talbot? I'm not really sure. But then you have Samsonov, however the hell he's going now. And that's a good player. Because with Murray, you know, you don't really know what you're going to get. So he's done a good job there building from the crease out. And he's gone back to dominating those face-off categories, the hit categories. So there you go. If you can get every goalie stat, I mean the three bigger ones. If you get the shutout, that's gravy on top. And then you have face-offs and hits. Well, you know, there's your 5 categories, possibly 6, and that wins you the week. You can get plus minus, and the difference from his team now than back then is I think he has more point potential, because back in 2019 there weren't any points there. That was strictly face-off wins, hits, and goalies, and maybe winning plus minus. But now he has some more point production guys, so I think he will be, you know, I think he could possibly very well pass me to become top 4 in the league. I still think there's a top tier of the 2 teams, and I think Flight of the Finlanders are kind of right there as well. Because I think they're just going to keep going past me now as the rest of the season goes. I think I'm a few games back of him, and I think that margin, that gap, is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And then you're going to have me somewhere right in the middle there. Like I don't think that there's a concern of me making the playoffs, but I don't think teams are as scared of me as they used to be. And you know, you don't want to feel that way, but we still like our squad. We like our youth. We like our depth. And we thought we hated our goalies, but you look at the goalie stats in the standings, and we're hovering around the top tier with the rest of the boys. So it feels good. We got that big win last week, as I'm sure you saw, against the big dog in the league, and it was because of the goalies. You know, mine had a bit of a heater, and his weren't as solid as they have been all season. And we got the win, so that was cool. And just to circle back on the Toronto Gilmours, we don't get assists at all. Like we're like 100 assists back of Ian McLovin and North Korea. So I mean, that's a lot. So right there, you kind of just have to sit back and say, okay, is this something we're waiting on, or is this like a big hole we have to fill? But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. It's really exciting. Yeah. I don't want to talk about the trades, like I said, like in depth. And how dare you bring up Connor Garland right now, Brooksy? But the thing is, like, I don't want to get into Connor Garland. You know what? The thing about Connor Garland is that he's so trash. And in that trade, there is no way in beautiful universe that Tyler went out, what's his name again? The Halifax Highlanders went out and said, I have to get Connor Garland on my team today. He's going to be such a massive piece in my future. I've owned the guy a lot over the years, and I put him out on trade blocks, and no one wanted him when he was producing more than he is now. There is no chance in hell Halifax Highlanders went out to Juicy Doubles Mac and said, hey man, is Connor Garland available? I have Yanni Gord. Available, a guy who does almost everything category-wise and who's on an absolute heater this year, on a heater of a team. There's no way. So you're telling me Juicy Doubles Back goes to Halifax Highlanders and says, hey man, I like Yanni Gord. What do you like from my team? And then Halifax Highlanders says, I have Connor Garland. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, man, I think I should probably make that. It's tough. Like, I would ask for a 5th in return as well with Gord for Garland, but I'm going to do you a favor and just do it. Just say yes. Connor Garland, if he can't get traded at the deadline from the Vancouver Canucks, is going to get bought out. You know who Connor Garland is? I just went through for the second time, for the first time in 20 years or so, and I really paid attention. I watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the three movies. Did you know that you have your 4 hobbits, Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin? Did you know there was a 5th one? and that fifth one was Connor Garland. But he's so trash and irrelevant, they like didn't even show him in the movie. They didn't even give him a line because he doesn't even matter. You could take a sewing pin, put it through the front of Connor Garland's bicep, and it'll come out the tricep on the other side, and you would still be able to see both ends of the needle. 100%. And I get it. He plays in the NHL, and I'm sitting in this basement apartment office. But come on. You could have gotten so many better pieces for a Yanni Gourde than Connor Garland. Maybe I am the villain. No, I don't want to be, though. I don't want to be the villain. This is getting long. This is like a groomer's take kind of long episode. So, everyone, thanks. I'm out. I'm going to the gym.